Today we're going to be bottling some of our cider. The point of this is to see how much priming sugar we need for these bottles and to make sure that I'm not going to make these bottles explode if I add what I think is going to be the right amount of priming sugar. Now, I started this cider back in May. It is now mid-August, so it has been fermenting and then sitting for a good while. The only problem is not all of the sugar was fermented out. If this was down below 1, so if it was like down there, then we would know that there's no sugar and then it's not a big deal. But since there's still sugar in there, those sugars will probably get eaten by whatever yeast we put in. So we need to be really, really careful with our calculations so we don't make a bunch of hand grenades. Because we're already going to be putting in priming sugar, specifically 3.3 grams. And if I was on the upper end of what that bottle can hold with that sugar, we need to account for the amount of sugar that's in there as well. And when calculating the amount of sugar we have in there, we need to figure out how much sugar is in the stuff that we're bottling. And we also need to figure out the warmest this got up to, because CO2 is released the warmer a liquid gets. So I'm going to assume that it got as warm as 74.5 degrees. Now you throw that in the math machine and you'll get about 3.3 grams of dextrose. I'm also going to add just a little bit of our yeast because I'm going to assume that the yeast in here has already died. I know this is super ghetto. And even though I'm not even using this in this process, periodically I am putting in this bottle wand just to make sure that I'm not overfilling this and my results can be replicated with the amount that I'll actually be putting in the bottle. Because the bottle wand displaces the amount of fluid. Gotta get all that mixed in. Hopefully there's enough oxygen in there for that yeast to get going. And that is the first bottle of Orthopraxis cider. Doing this will let me determine the amount of carbonation I want to put in my bottles, as well as let me learn the riddling process for the traditional method. I am a little sketched out. That seemed like a lot of sugar, so just to be safe, put that in here, put that in there, put that right there, and now we wait. But in the meantime, it's very good.